Hi, I'm Shubha Narayan, and joining us now this morning is Mr. Ramlal Dhiman. He is the Director Operations of Amtek India Limited. Hello sir, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Yeah, fine.
Welcome to IFEX 2012 and welcome to the pavilion of Forace Polymers. So how do you find the IFEX this year?
The effect of IFEX is mostly we are all looking for change in technology. What are the technologies coming up in the foundry industry in terms of our suppliers, raw material suppliers, availability on the technologies. So these are, we are all looking for that, how the technology in the foundry industry, which is more or less used to be, it was a conventional industry. Okay. Now we are looking for, we should take the support from the technology, because unless otherwise technology is added to that, we can't have consistent quality and the volumes, and the expectation of the customer are also changes, because we are competing with the rest of the world on that.
Yeah. And do you find a good number of people here in all the stalls?
Yeah, I think it is good numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about our Forace pavilion, about the architecture and everything?
Yeah, Forace, yes, it is a growing company. Yeah. And particularly Mr. Vikas Garg, I know him personally from almost 10-15 years.
All right.
His association with me on the foundry is because he's capturing the voice of the customer.
All right.
Okay, what is required by customer, he immediately attend to it. Yeah. And more or less, most of the time, he gives the solutions also. Okay, give me something.
To cater to your needs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cater to the
now,
need.
Have you attended any of the technical sessions that's happening here so far?
I have not attended so far.
Okay. Do you plan to attend or?
I think if time permit me, definitely I have selected for two. On one is on energy saving and all that. Yeah. So I'll be moving for that, for energy saving.
So tell us, Mr. Dhiman, give us some information about your organization.
Our organization
what space are you in and what do you do?
This Amtek India or Amtek Auto. Yeah. We are in the business of making automotive components.
All right.
We are having forgings, castings, machining and giving them to the OEMs. All we are having good customer like General Motor, Ford, Hyundai, Maruti, all Tatas.
Right.
So these are our customers.
All right.
So we are, this is a very agile group. Okay. The expansion plan are there and we have all upgraded technologies into the company. Okay. Either it is a foundry or machine shop or forging. Right. So everything is up to the technology upgrading and moving forward, catering to the need, say our plans are after 5 years, what will be the requirement in terms of volume, in terms of quality. Okay. So according to the competition and requirement of the customer, we are moving on.
So you basically supply auto components to all the OEMs, which means original equipment manufacturers.
Yeah.
All right. Now, how has your journey been in the foundry industry?
And foundry, my career, I started with from about 35 years back. All right. And the foundry, I find it because basically foundry to me, it is sort of, you have to be very innovative in that. Right. And while working, we have to use science plus your common sense, both. Right. So this is my journey in the foundry, learn and implement. Unless otherwise you learn and will not implement, there is no use for that learning. True. So that's why you call it, yes, it is an innovative process. Yes. And innovative is through science plus common sense. So both has to be applied.
Yeah, well answered.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been associated with Forace Polymers?
About 15 years, from the last 15 years.
So what sort of products or components do you source from Forace Polymers?
For us, we are getting like the resins for cold box technology.
All right.
And now we started for the cell also, cell core, and now we are talking to Mr. Garg on that. Can you go for your this thing like chaplets or filters? All right. And plus, what are the basic what we are looking in the foundry is how it is productive. Because the productivity is the major part of it.
Definitely.
Yeah, so sometimes they have helpers, the bench life and all those of the product.
All right.
These are improved.
Okay.
So further still there is no end for improvement.
Correct, correct.
So
So I was just going to ask you next, like how would you rate the association with Forace Polymers in terms of quality and service?
I call it in my foundry, it is my number one supplier.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for
Yeah.
the feedback. You know, all industries have all kinds of challenges. Now, what are some of the major challenges in front of the foundry industry in India?
In India, the challenges with us is, one is because there is a lack of automation in India.
All right.
And unless otherwise the automation is not there, we can't sustain on quality.
Yes.
And it is difficult to compete with our rest of the world like China.
Right.
And we expect from our partners, which are we are here for IFEX for that,
Right.
that ultimately everyone should develop the technology toward that automation, where the sustenance of the results,
Okay.
cost reduces,
Okay.
productivity comes.
Yes.
So this is the.
What about labors? Is there any shortage of labor, shortage of power that you're facing?
Say if that's why we are saying labor, we should not depend all the time on labor. That's
Okay.
why we are stressing more and more on automation.
True.
We should take the support of the technology.
Correct.
Because labor, if we see, we can't all the time depend on labor.
Right.
Okay, if I am able to get the labor, but again there are variation depending upon their skill.
Okay. So getting fully automated system
Yeah.
is the way to go forward.
Yes, this is the way forward. Indian foundries at least should, or the Indian all suppliers to the foundry industry, either they are equipment supplier or they are the chemical suppliers. So we should move towards the automation. This is the only answer available to compete with rest of the world.
Right. What do you think about sand reclamation?
Yes, sand reclamation
That's
ultimately
more becoming environmentally aware. isn't
yes, so we need to go for green foundry initiatives.
it? Okay.
Already in our foundry.
Does your
but
organization follow some of that?
yeah, we are taking help from CII,
Okay.
and even our promoters are there also very conscious about it. Yes, let us invest, go for a green foundry.
That's the key to sustainability.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
it, because ultimately we have some social responsibility also.
Right, right.
So under
Now,
those,
tell us, Mr. Dhiman, what according to you are the future trends in the foundry industry?
foundry industry in India, yes, there is a huge scope.
All right.
There is huge demand. There is a gap between demand and supply of the good suppliers,
All right.
good
Okay.
casting
Would
manufacturers.
you say there is a demand-supply mismatch, or would you say there is just a huge gap?
There is a huge gap
Okay.
also for the good manufacturer of the castings,
All right.
because there are many foundries in India,
Okay.
and they are making casting for different variants,
All right.
and they are also making the volumes.
Right.
But for good casting manufacturing, there is a gap.
All right.
Yeah,
All
for the
right.
automotive like cylinder block, cylinder
And
head.
how do you think we could overcome that?
Some of the groups are going for expansion,
Okay.
like we are also going.
All right.
Some of our competitors are also going for expansion.
Sure.
So that gap already, because foundry industry people are, because they have their own plans
Right.
considering the environment.
Right.
So we are already on that path of expansion.
Expansion.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, India is the second largest castings manufacturer, only next to China.
Yeah.
How do you see the growth of this industry in India?
There's a huge scope. That's why I'm saying. But scope only, we have to take help for technology. Unless otherwise we'll not go for
So
that.
technological excellence.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise we'll not compete China,
All right. Okay.
because this is the only key.
Okay.
There is a scope for improvement,
Right.
and there is a huge gap for demand, because some of our OEMs are now getting casting from China.
Okay.
If they will get that volume, that quantity and quality over here, so why they will go to China?
So you're saying with technological excellence and by bridging the huge
Yeah.
gap,
Yeah.
one can
Yes.
strive to become the best. Okay. Before we let you go, one last question. 5 years from now, what changes do you perceive in the Indian foundry industry?
And changes 5 years
From now.
from now, I think, to me, people will start has realizing now
Okay.
what we need exactly to compete.
Right.
in terms of raw materials, in terms of environment.
Okay.
So that means after from now to 5 years, that means people will start putting everything in line with that. Although it is a long journey, it will take another 10 years to meet it with the
Right.
global this thing.
Yeah.
But after from now onwards, people will start
There will be a general awareness. is what
general
you're saying.
awareness
Okay.
what we should do. We
All
should
right.
not depend on all the time on labor skills, all the time of conventional methods. So we have to go for this technological thing.
All right.
And
Well,
social responsibility on the environment,
okay.
that will be
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So this is the
Is your company into corporate social responsibility as well? Do you have initiatives?
we unit wise we have initiative on
Okay.
that. Like we are adopting some schools.
Okay.
Yeah. Some
Okay.
of the we give some computers or books to the poor children. So these type of initiatives.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ramlal Dhiman, for your time, and thanks so much for all those positive and encouraging thoughts. We wish you a great day here at the event. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.